Hey guys, welcome back. So last video, cut the rear end off and then grafted on the new section, rear section, the buggy. So since then I've actually added a couple more tubes, and then I got the axe rear diff in place. So yeah, next I'll be I want to get the suspension points at least in there mocked up so I can cycle the suspension and stuff, and then I can do bumps and shock mounts off of that. So first off, I gotta remove, pretty much strip these down, get the brakes off, lines out of the way, and I'll get these tabs cut off, all of them. And then, so I got my buddy Scott to cut me out some upper link brackets. So yeah, they'll pretty much, once these tabs are cut off, they'll kind of just sit on the axle. Well, really further in, but they'll sit pretty much like that. Have that flat part just sit on these tabs, tie into the lower link tabs, and then I'll brace them up, and then there'll likely be the bump stop pad as well on the top, so that the bump stops will hit down directly onto those upper link tabs, and then I'll truss it from there. So yeah, I'll get this axle cleaned up first and go from there. All right, so I got axle cleaned up on both sides for where the link brackets are going to go. So yeah, they fit pretty good, and then they'll butt up against the truss there. So I got trailing arm mocked up on the other side. So I don't know if I showed you guys these yet, but yeah, I built some trailing arms I guess a couple of months ago now. Nice big new style, 1.25" high one end, and then just a anti-wobble on the other bushing. Yeah, all made out of 3/16, and then there's a 2x2 1/4" wall square tubing core as well. So yeah, these should hold up to the abuse. They've pretty beefy. So yeah, I'll get those upper link trailing arm brackets welded on the end, or at least tacked on, and then I'll get the frame side done. Alright, so I got the upper link brackets on. I'll still box them in, and then tying the truss. Get some bracing on there. So now move on, make the link pivots for the frame side for the trailing arms. So yeah, basically just be a box, and I'll just notch out the boat side here and then tie it into that. There is a 2x2 by 1/4" brace there. I have them, I don't know, every I don't know, 2 feet or so, but there is one right here, I know, so I'll tie it into that as well, and then I'll brace the shit out of it to the both sides there as well in the frame, so it won't move. So I'll get those made on the bench first, and then I'll notch the both sides and slap them in. So I got one of the trailing arms in, got the bracket in and welded in place. You probably can't see, it's too dark, but it's in. So now yeah, just got to do the other side, and I'll start working on the lower link cross member. Pretty much go where the old one was, but it'll have a center pivot because the lowers will be triangulated instead of the uppers. So remake that, and then I'll start cycling suspension, see if it all works. All right, so I got all the suspension links in. I got a drive shaft in there, so I can, that's gonna be the main thing I have to work around on the suspension is the drive shaft, because before I'd always have it hitting on the back of the cross member back there. So this time I'm thinking I'm gonna do a piece, just a 2x4 frame, and then it's gonna go up and follow that that tunnel there, and then it'll just have like a double shear bracket on the ends for the links there, and then it'll just be open from the bottom, so I'll have as much droop as that drive shaft can handle, so won't have to worry about that. So yeah, I'll get started on that. All right, so I got the cross member pretty much done. Just gotta do another tab on each side to make the lower link mounts double shear, and then that's it. Yeah, then it's done. So I'll weld it in place first, and then I'll put those little tabs on after. All right, so I got the suspension all mocked up. Got the cross member in. Still need to double shear those, like I said earlier, but it's in there. Got it at full bump right now. So it's looking like I'll have about 22, 23 inches of wheel travel, which is quite a bit more than I used to have. Old setup was around 13 bumped and strapped. So yeah, it'll be almost double, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, I flex tested it, got it bumped and strapped, everything clears pretty good. So now I'll just start bracing everything. So I still gotta make bump pads, box all this in. Got double shear the lower control arm link mounts, the frame side there, and then sway bar tabs off the back, and then do the bump stop cans, mount those, and then suspension should be, well, minus the shock mounts, suspension will be done. So that's my goal for this weekend, get all that done. So I'll start with the upper link towers on the axle, get those all boxed in, get the bump pads on the top. Alright, so we got upper link towers all burned in, boxed in, and then I got the bump pad on top. There's some 1/2 inch plate, and then the little boxed in gusset thing. So next I'll start mounting these bump stops. Just some carbon Shock Technologies bump stops, the threaded adjustable collar. So I'll get it tacked up in there with the collar bottomed out, so I can always go down more if I need to. And then I'll mount it so it hits kind of on the inside edge, because when this thing flexes out, this tower kind of moves in a little bit. So I'll have that, when it hits straight up and down, I'll have it hit on the inside edge there, kind of more towards the inside there, and then I'll line it up this angle kind of with the arc of the suspension travel, so it'll be about 5 degrees forward. So, and then yeah, so I'll kind of get it tacked up in place, cycle it a little bit more, see if it works out, and then I'll box it in fully and brace the crap out of it. Alright, so I've got the bump mounts done. So first, yeah, I have the fish plate there, and then I just kind of got the weld on collar there, just on there by itself, with just a little piece there just to get the angle and everything right, and then just built around it, gusseted around there. I'll get one of the bumps in there, and you can see it at full bump and everything. So I got a little carried away on the way to get those bump stops in. Ended up getting the sway bar in as well. Just I used my old upper links, so they're pretty beefy, 7/8 times with 1.5 inch quarter wall DOM, so I shouldn't be bending those. So yeah, you can see it full bump. Bypasses should be here tomorrow, so I'll get those, and then I can start on getting some upper shock mounts done. Hey guys, so the shock package on this thing, for those who are wondering, is a 2.5 by 16 3-tube bypass from Carbon Shock Technologies, and then a 2.5 by 14 King coilover, just for my old setup. Spring rates will have to change, be a little stiffer for the new trailer arm setup, but so this new weekend bypasses are in. So I'm just going to be working on shock mounts today. So basically I'm going to cut out this 2x6 1/4 inch wall, and then okay, so it's going to sit kind of like that, bypass, coilover, and then just bracing off of that. So yeah, it'll be in there. So I'll get the 2x6 in there, and then get a little update from there. Alright, I got the upper shock mounts in there, kinda. Just gotta brace them up a bunch. So what I'm thinking, just have another tube like this right here, angle cut, and then a tube off of there to here, tube off of this one to here, and another tube from here to here, and then just 1/8 inch plate all along there as well. Gusseted it up a bunch, and that should be good. Ideally, I would want a tube or something up to the main frame there, just to give it some support this way, but I want to keep this opening as open as possible, because that's kind of the entrance into the third party seat there. So I don't want any, I want as little obstructions there as possible. So hopefully, well, it should be strong enough. The front is going to be, is way less beefier than this is going to be, so, and that holds up fine. So we'll, all the bump force is going through the bump cans, so there shouldn't be too much shock load, if any, going through here. So yeah, should be good. Tube for the shock mounts are pretty much done. Just gotta sheet it in. Might do some little bit of 1/8 inch, and then I got some 20 gauge. I'll do some bead roll designs in there as well. So yeah, still got to do another tube from there to there, and then got to do the other side too. So a lot of work ahead, but it's coming along. So I got one side all sheeted in, just some 18 gauge steel, some bead roll in there, and then just blended all the welds in. Still have to do the other side, but it's in there enough. You get the shocks in there. Did some cycle testing, so it's all good until we get full droop here. Sway bar little overextends a little bit. So we measured. It's 22 inches of travel, not strapped, so probably strap it around 21. And yeah, as you can see, this sway bar is quite straight, and sway bar links are as extended out as I would safely like to go. So yeah, I'll just relocate. We'll just remake this bracket here and just relocate it out, and then maybe up a little bit, and then that should give it a little more angle so it doesn't fully invert itself and do bad things. So other than that, yeah, suspension cycle's pretty good. Yeah, just gotta finish up the other side, and then yeah, suspension's done. We can move on to finishing off the sheet metal for the inside. And got a couple more tubes left, and then yeah, the fab work should be pretty close to getting done. So I'll probably end this video here. Now the suspension's pretty well done. Thanks for watching, guys.